Om Sai Ram, welcome to Living Spiritually. This is the story of Shama and the Vishnu Sahasranama. Shama was very close devotee and Baba wanted to bless him by giving him a copy of Vishnu Sahasranama as prasadam. This was done in the following way. Once a Ramadasi, follower of the saint Ramadas, came to Shirdi and stayed there for some time. Every day he woke up early in the morning, washed his face, bathed, and then, after wearing saffron colored clothes and besmearing himself with sacred ashes, read Vishnu Sahasranama, a book that gives 1,000 names in praise of Lord Vishnu, held second in the importance to the Bhagavad Gita, and the Adhyatma Ramayana, the historic version of Rama's story, with faith. After a few days, Baba thought of favoring and initiating Shama with the Vishnu Sahasranama. He therefore called the Ramadasi and said to him that he was suffering from intense stomach pain and unless that he took senna pots, a mild purgative drug, the pain would not stop. And thus he requested the Ramdasi to go to the bazaar and bring the drug. The Ramdasi closed his book and went to the bazaar. Then Baba descended from his seat, came to where the Ramdasi had been sitting and took the copy of Vishnu Sahasranama. Then he returned to his seat and said to Shama, "O Shama, this book is very valuable and so I present it to you. You must read it. I once suffered intensely and my heart began to palpitate and my life was in danger. At that critical time, I hugged this book close to my heart and then, Shama, what a relief it gave me. I thought that God Himself had come down and saved me. So I give this to you. Read it slowly and read one name at least daily, and it will do you good." Shama replied that he did not want it and that its owner, the Ramdasi, who was a mad, obstinate, and irritable fellow, would certainly pick a quarrel with him for taking the book side. Besides, as he was a rustic, he could not clearly read the Sanskrit letters in the book. Shama thought that Baba wanted to set him up against the Ramdasi by this act of his, but he had no idea of what Baba felt for him. Baba wanted to tie this necklace of the Vishnu Sahasranama around Shama's neck as he was an intimate devotee and thereby save him from the miseries of the worldly existence. The efficacy of God's name is well known. It saves us from all sins and bad tendencies and frees us from the cycle of births and deaths. There is no easier sadhana than this. It is the best purifier of our mind. It requires no paraphernalia and no restrictions. It is so easy and so effective. Baba wanted Shama to practice this sadhana. So Baba forced this on him. It is believed that long ago, Eknath Maharaj similarly forced the Vishnu Sahasranama on a poor Brahmin neighbor and thus saved him. The reading and study of this Vishnu Sahasranama was a broad and open way of purifying the mind, and hence Baba thrust this on his Shama. The Ramdasi soon returned with the senna pots. Anna Chinchanakar, who was then present and who wanted to play the part of Narada, the celestial sage who was notorious for settling up quarrels between gods and demons, informed the Ramadasi of what had happened. The Ramdasi at once flared up. He came down on Shama with all his fury. He said that it was Shama who had asked Baba to send him away under the pretext of a stomachache and thus took the book. He began to scold and abuse Shama and remarked that if the book was not written, he would dash his head before him. Shama calmly remonstrated with him, but in vain. Then Baba spoke kindly to him as follows: "O Ramadasi, what is the matter with you? Why are you so turbulent? Is not Shama a boy? Why do you scold him unnecessarily? How is it that you are so quarrelsome? Can you not speak soft and sweet words? You read the sacred books daily, and yet your mind is impure and your passions uncontrolled. What sort of a Ramdasi are you? You ought to be indifferent to all things. Is it not strange that you should covet this book so strongly? A true Ramdasi should have no mamata, that is the attachment, but should have samata, equality towards everything. You are not quarreling with Shama for a mere book. Go and take your seat. Books can be had in plenty, but not men. Think carefully and be considerate. What is your book worth? Shama had no concern with it. I took it myself and gave it to him. You know it in your heart. I thought Shama might read it and profit thereby, and so I gave it to him. How sweet were Baba's words, soft, tender, and nectar like. Their effect was wonderful. The Ramdasi calmed and said to Shama that he would take the Panchratni Gita in written. Shama was very pleased and said, "Why one? I shall give 10 copies in return." So the matter was ultimately settled. The question for consideration is, why should the Ramdasi press for the Pancharatni Gita, the god in which he never cared to know? And why should he, who read religious books in the masjid every day in front of Baba, quarrel with Shama? We do not know how to apportion the blame and whom to blame. We can only say that had this not happened, the importance of the subject, the efficacy of God's name, and the study of Vishnu Sahasranama would not have been brought home to Shama. So we see that Baba's method of teaching and initiating was unique. In this case, Shama gradually studied the book and mastered its contents to such an extent that he was able to explain it to Professor Gigi Narke, the son-in-law of Sriman Bhuti and a devotee of Sai Baba. These are Sai Leelas. Om Sai Ram, Om Satchidananda Sadguru Sai Nath Maharaj Ki Jai.